and welcome. This is Your City in Action here on, I messed it up last time, Officer Gawith. Last time I called it Access TV. We're not Community Access TV anymore. We are Salina Media Connection. Okay. So Officer Matt Gawith, welcome to Salina Media Connection. Big show lined up today. We'll talk law enforcement a little bit, but more specifically, we'll talk about things that some of you officers do outside the arena of law enforcement. You're just not every day throwing people up against cars and handcuffing them, right?
No.
Well, first, tell me a little bit about yourself. We've talked a little bit off camera. You've been with the agency over 10 years. What do you do?
Currently, I serve as the officer assigned to municipal court. So I work closely with the court system over at municipal court and work on warrants and subpoenas and that type of things. And so I've worked in the traffic unit in the past and patrol, of course.
So you've done a little bit of everything with the police department.
Yeah, I've done a lot of different things in 12 years, yeah.
Now, the police are involved in a lot of things here in Salina outside of just you're serving and protecting every day. I know you do a Citizens Academy. I've went through both the regular and the advanced academy. You're very involved with Special Olympics. You do the torch run each year. You do the polar plunge each year. I know you do, just ended about a week or so ago, an effort, Guns and Hoses, and that's kind of a year-round thing. I know you do a football game now. They do a golf tournament as well. Another thing you do this time of year, I want to talk about this a little bit specifically, cops and costumes. This thing has really kind of took off. I know you've only done it a couple of years, so it's fairly new. You didn't know what to expect the first time you did it. Turnout was huge. I went and covered the first one. There was like over 500 kids there in costumes. Cops and costumes, tell me about it.
We just started off with the idea that we wanted to bring the trick-or-treaters to us.
Right.
Of course, it's providing them a safe place to trick-or-treat, and better yet, a place for them to interact with the law enforcement officers and other staff that they might see on a day-to-day basis, and show them that they're not just there when times are bad, they can come to us anytime, and kind of build some rapport with those kids for years to come.
Are you surprised about the overwhelming response that you've had to this?
Frankly, I was pretty shocked the first year. You know, we didn't know what to expect putting it together, and the first year, like you said, we had several hundred show up. Last year, our second year, we gave out approximately 670 goodie bags to kids, and the weather wasn't real good last year.
Yeah, I remember a little cold, little drizzly, little wet last year.
Yep.
It didn't stick, but it even snowed a little bit.
Yeah, we had a little bit of everything last year. We had some snow flurries and rain and cold and windy, and they still came.
And again, this is Your City in Action here on Salina Media Connection. Your host, Todd Pittenger from the Rockingham Media Group of radio stations. We've got 6 radios. Well, I do news for 6 radio stations in Salina, 41 other radio stations across Kansas. We've got the Rockingham News Network, so I stay busy doing that. Because there's knuckleheads out there doing strange things, I'll always have job security. I think you will as well, but we're not talking about knuckleheads today. We're talking about good things Officer Gawith and the Salina Police Department does. Specifically, we're talking cops and costumes. Now, kind of a fun thing. Explain how it works.
We block off the front parking lot of the police department.
Right.
The kids line up and just kind of funnel through. We set up several different police vehicles, motorcycles, SWAT vehicle.
So it's not, you don't just walk up, say trick or treat, get some candy and leave. There's some interactive things there, right?
There is. We have tables set up with the goodie bags that we give out to them. They love taking pictures with the officers.
Yep.
They'll hoist them up on the SWAT vehicle or set them on the police motorcycle. And I was telling Jeff Garrettson this morning that some of our guys from last year and the year before, they were sore just from the amount of kids that they were hoisting up, taking pictures with them. And the kids just love coming and showing off their costumes.
I think it's a great thing because there was a period of time not too long ago where police maybe, I don't think locally, but nationally didn't have the best image. Kind of like journalists have right now. Nationally, journalists don't have the best image right now. I think locally we're okay, but nationally journalists don't have the best image. I think events like this kind of help that turn around, right?
Right. And we're lucky in Salina, Kansas, because our citizens support us very well, and we have a good rapport with all citizens and different groups within Salina. And we haven't shared some of that, I guess, negative image that some places in other parts of the country have encountered. We've
Right.
enjoyed good success and rapport with our citizens here.
Cops and costumes, as a parent, I can tell you, my kids have grown now. They both just have graduated college. Every year, one of their favorite things to do on Halloween was to go to downtown to the big Boo-Rama, trick-or-treating up and down Santa Fe. So this kind of piggybacks off of that. You're within about 2 blocks of that, literally walking distance if you want to. So the kids can do the safe trick-or-treating along Santa Fe. They can come over to your place, do some safe trick-or-treating as well. Kind of a dual event.
Yes, yes. And we've added some things that we're giving them this year. In the goodie bags, of course, candy.
Of course,
That's the main deal they come for. There will be sticker badges in there for them. There's going to be some coloring books given out. Of course, the photo op with the officers.
Right.
And check out the vehicles. But new this year, we've added chance to win in your goodie bags some free passes to Kenwood Cove for 2019 and some movie passes to AMC theaters. Give families something to do.
Oh, very nice.
In the winter, where they wouldn't have to spend as much money otherwise.
Absolutely, and it's really kind of, for lack of a better term, kind of turned into a little bit of a festival, maybe carnival-like atmosphere. I know one of my radio stations is going to be there, some crazy DJs doing some silly stuff there as well. So it's kind of turned into a fun, festive atmosphere. Would you agree with that?
I would very much agree with that, yes.
Yes. And all right, specifically, we talked about some of the displays. You're going to have your armored vehicle there, that sort of thing. Could I climb in that thing and look around?
Oh, we'd get you in there.
I've got kind of a big head. I might not get back out very easy, but yeah, you'll have the what I've seen in the past. Some of the officers, some of the different uniforms you have, right?
Yes, we've had patrol officers, detective, SWAT officers, our record staff, court staff. We try and get a good representation of the department out there.
Again, this is Your City in Action here on Salina Media Connection, talking all things police today, specifically all things cops in costumes today. Maybe the beauty part about this, I don't think you can find any place in the world safer to trick or treat than in front of the law enforcement center here in Salina. And B, the price is right on this thing, right?
That's right. You can't beat the price.
So it doesn't cost you anything. Bring the kiddos in their costumes. Mom and dad can wear costumes also if they want to. Not required though, right?
Right. Yep.
And I think the main thing that I would say, perhaps when you show up, you'll see a big line and you think that might deter you a little bit. That line moves very quickly.
It did, Todd. We learned a lot from the first year. You always having the kids get their own candy and stuff, and so this year starting from last year, we prepackage everything into their individual goodie bags, so that we can just makes the line move faster.
Right. And all right, I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me here. All right. I know you carry a gun for a living, but I got to ask this: you're giving away candy, right?
Yes.
You're giving away donuts also.
No. Oh man.
You should give away little bitty tiny donut holders. That would be hilarious.
I like the idea, but I think we're going to pass.
Okay. Again, talking cops and costumes here on Salina Media Connection, Your City in Action. All right, times. What time does it start? What time does it end? I don't want to miss it.
Of course, Halloween, October 31st, 4:30 to 6 p.m.
Okay, and rain or shine, right?
Rain or shine, we'll be there.
And this is only the third one, right?
This will be year number 3.
I know the first year the weather was pretty good. Second year it was overcast, raining, actually a little bit of spit and a little snow also. So you've experienced the yin and the yang of the weather. Yes. Tell you what, I'll be in charge of it this year. Okay, I'll take care of that for you.
Okay.
Anything else you want to add, Officer Gawith?
One more thing we're doing this year.
Yes.
I'll mention that we also have a thing coming up here at Christmas time where we're taking some kids shopping.
Is it the Shop with a Cop?
Yes.
Yes.
It actually has a slightly different name, and I'm forgetting it off the top of my head.
Sure.
But you're right, it used to be a Shop with a Cop. But we take a group of kids out to, I think last year we went out to Target, and I think around $100 on each kid. So
do you coordinate that with Big Brothers Big Sisters or with something like that? One of those service organizations. It's kids that don't have father, or right?
Right. Yep. So and then there's also an event coming up at Martinelli's Little Italy with Tip a Cop. So basically, some cops walk around with servers, help out with.
So you'll be putting on your waiter uniform that day, right? And
something like that.
Yeah, right.
And patrons have the option of leaving a tip, which goes to a Special Olympics.
Sure. So, and we mentioned previously, just about a week and a half ago, the Guns and Hoses. The premier event of that effort was the football game last week.
Yes.
And unfortunately, who won?
The team in red, yeah.
The team in red, okay. It wasn't the good guys in blue, it was the team in red that won. So
Yeah, yep.
that was last week. And also mention, just briefly, tell me about, you're involved with the Special Olympics. I knew you do the polar plunge and the torch run, right?
Yes, the torch run, there in the summertime. Special Olympics, I believe, is coming up in February.
Right.
Both those two are raise money for Special Olympics, and we love helping those kids out too. And then the tip-a-cop.
Have you ever personally done the plunge?
No.
No?
No,
we need to get you. You know what? For like 6 years in a row, I did it. And now I DJ it. So I've gotten smart over the years. Now I DJ it. So we need to have, and I'll give you credit. It's not just law enforcement. It's the public that show up. Some people raise money in plunge. I know there's a teacher that raises hundreds of dollars every year. Salina Police Department, every year they coincide. I mean, one year they were Oompa Loompas. One year they were Smurfs. They do a great job of coordinating that.
Officer Lemon does a great job of getting a fun theme going for the law enforcement group.
All right, we mentioned outreach, and this is just off the top of my head here. Tell me about the school resource officers. You mentioned Officer Lemon. You've got officers in the schools. I think that's been a tremendous program here in Salina.
Yes, we think it's very important to be out there interacting with the kids
right.
at those ages.
And I hate to say it, but in this day and age, with everything that's happening in the world, it eases my mind a little bit. My wife is a teacher, so there's a school resource. She knows Officer Lemon out at her school. It eases her mind a little bit to know that Officer Lemon is there. God forbid something would happen.
Right. Yeah, it's very important to have us out there, like you said, from a safety standpoint, but it's also somebody else for those kids to reach out to that maybe they wouldn't feel comfortable with mom and dad or somebody else, but it's a resource for them kids to between classes or before and after school that they can come up and talk to. And
I know in the past they've actually helped teach classes a little bit, some safety stuff, some self-defense stuff, things like that.
Yes, they do help with some classes out there that benefit the kids.
And it's good in my mind for kids to see the human being behind the badge. They get to know the officer a little bit. And like you said, I've covered stories in the past where, you know what, maybe I'm not comfortable telling mom and dad something. Maybe I'm not comfortable going and sitting down in the principal's office. But I know Officer Lemon a little bit. I've seen her out in the halls. I've talked to her a little bit. Maybe I'm comfortable going down, sitting down, and confiding in her a little bit. And that happens too, doesn't it?
Right. Yep.
All right, before we go, again, hit me the who, what, when, and where. Your next event, I mean, we've talked about the multiple things you're doing. Your next event, cops and costumes. The costumes part should give it away, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Coming up on Halloween, the who, what, when, and where one more time.
4:30 to 6 p.m., front parking lot of the police department.
Right, and I can tell you, the downtown trick-or-treating begins at 4. So you can go do that at 4 if you want, about a half hour up and down Santa Fe. Then when you get to the Santa Fe, hang a left or go west, and you'll go right down to the Salina Police Department right in front of that. And
there should be quite a bit of parking behind the old juvenile detention center and then the senior center parking lot. So we've got 2 parking lots where parents can park when they then get in line and come see us over there.
So cops and costumes, what are you wearing? What are you going for Halloween this year?
This is what I'm wearing.
This is it. This is it.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going as also. All right, I talked about, police weren't always good in the public eye. Right now, journalists aren't good in the public eye. I'm going this year, enemy of the American people right here.
Well, Todd, we just try and, with the, like I said, in Salina, the support has been very good to the Salina Police Department.
Absolutely.
Currently and in years past, and we appreciate that support. And I've explained the reasons why we do cops and costumes as far as, with the kids.
Yep.
But we do a lot of other stuff besides this, and we try and give back to the community and show them, we're kind of taking that support and pushing it back out to the community, and it goes both ways. So.
Officer Gawith, I appreciate what you do personally. I know you put in lots of hours doing the job you do with court security, with the police department, now helping out with the cops and costumes as well. So thank you for what you do. Thank you for serving and protecting on a daily basis. Again, this has been your City in Action here on Salina Media Connection. Thank you for joining us this week.